tourism industry is facing a tough time. High E. coli levels have led to the closure of popular beaches, and the city's decision to forgo the blue flag certification raises concerns about the water quality and overall beach standards. With the festive season just around the corner, how will this affect tourism and what measures are being taken in to mitigate the impact? Let's now bring in the eThekwini Acting Mayor, Nkosenhle Madlala. Acting Mayor, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. How would you describe the city's state of readiness to receive the thousands of tourists who would normally flock to the city during the festive season?
No, thank you very much. We are fully prepared for the hosting of one of the memorable festive seasons in the recent history. We are saying so because we've been in a state of recovery over the years, and we think we are ready to go back to where Durban was as a tourist mecca in South Africa. So we are ready. What we have done is that we have our law enforcement agencies on standby. They are ready to ensure that we deliver a safe and memorable festive season throughout the holidays. We have recruits that we announced last year. We are going to be releasing them from the college this festive season. They are around 500, and they are going to add to the numbers that we already have. We already have a partnership with the private sector in terms of the private security industry. They are also aiding in our efforts to ensure that we have a memorable festive season. We are hooking this festive season on events tourism. We know that we have signature events like Durban Rocks, we have like a Durban Jazz. We have like 15 star-studded events that we are going to be rolling out throughout the festive season. And we are sure that it's going to attract a lot of attention and visitors. Yep. Our hoteliers have assured us that they are ready to host. They are expecting around 80% of the occupants in their hotels. You know that we have some of the best hotels around. Our airport is ready. The city is ready to host what is going to be a bumper festive season.
What is going to be a bumper festive season? One of the tourist attractions that Durban has is your warm beaches, but there have been reports of a number of beaches that have been closed. The Times were reporting that there are about 10 beaches that have been closed due to excessive E. coli levels, while there's another report in News 24 that speaks about 2 Durban beaches that have been closed down due to high E. coli levels. What's the city's take on the number of beaches that have been closed down that will not be operational during the festive season?
We have 23 beaches in total, and only 2 are closed, which is your Elsties Beach and one around Isipingo. And we can assure our visitors that by the coming weekend, those 2 will be opened as well. So we are going to have our fully fledged 23 beaches that are going to be opened. The 2 that were closed, we were giving daily reports about it. The workers are on the ground fixing the pipes because they were burst pipes, which then affected the quality of the water in those. But we are fixing those. So in total, we have currently 21 that are open. And we are doing water testing on a weekly basis now to ensure that the quality of the water is above reproach and our bathers can be are safe throughout the festive season. We also additionally have 30 pools strewn around the city, which also provide an additional recreational facility in terms of the aquatics. So we are calling our people to come in numbers. Durban is open. Our beaches are open. It's only 2 that are closed.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're so confident with the opening of these beaches, why did the city then decide to forego that blue flag status?
Yeah, you will remember that maybe as a background, the blue flag status is an internationally recognized symbol that you environmentally and otherwise you are compliant and all of that. We've been part of the program, but after the 2022 floods and the recurring floods after that, we decided to sort of hold back from the program because we're focused on recovery. you remember that the infrastructure damage ran into billions of rands, and we knew that we were not going to make it in time to be able to qualify in terms of the window period and all of that. But we are confident that come the next season, we'll be ready for reapplication for the blue flag status.
Yeah, does that at all, though, have an impact on how tourists would decide where to travel to, if this is an internationally recognized status?
It might and it might not. Look, programs such as this are assisting us to spread the gospel that our water is safe. We test every week. And it's not only our own laboratories. There are independent laboratories that test and corroborate the evidence that we find, and we publish every day. We are very transparent about it, and it has been relied upon by your tourism industry to attract tourists. So we are confident that beyond the blue flag status, our water quality is clean and our beaches are welcome. Besides that, we also have one of the longest promenade in Africa. And sometimes people come to not for the water itself, but for the seaside experience, your restaurants, your hotels, and everything else. So we are quite confident that we are going to have a good season this year.
Yeah. Has the city done an investigation as yet to look into the impact that the high E. coli levels has had on businesses and businesses operating on the beachfront?
Look, when our beaches were closed due to the E. coli levels, associated with the flood damage and all of that, we received quite a knock. Our businesses received quite a knock. But as I've said, we've recovered. They've been on board in terms of the developments that are happening, and they are quite happy with the progress we've made.
You're confident with the progress that you've made. Let's just quickly touch on infrastructure, which is another issue, especially for the eThekwini municipality. And one of the reasons, for instance, that you have that presidential committee that has been set up to try and stabilize the city. Would you say that the city, as it stands currently, has the appropriate infrastructure to meet the demands of some of the tourists that you will be attracting over the festive season?
Yes, we do, definitely, we do. Look, we have not gone back to the pre-floods levels of, because you know we had the world-class infrastructure, both in the city and in the outlying areas. But we are 90% there. So we are quite pleased with the progress we've made. And we are thankful to the presidential working group that has came in, because one of the issues that we highlighted was that the extent of the damage far outstripped the budget that were available for the city to be able to, on its own, to be able to recover in such a short space of time as it is expected. And therefore, they came in, they assisted. Also, the private sector is on board. Your Growth Coalition and the other organized formations of business in our city have been very cooperative and helpful. Some have rebuilt their own infrastructure and handed it over to the city. And therefore, we think the effort that has been put has put us in a very good state to be able to say we are open for business, we are open for tourists.
Okay. Finally, is long-distance taxi drivers. The standoff that has been ongoing. I understand that the MEC, Siboniso Duma, as well as the Premier, will later on today meet with the taxi operators as well as law enforcement. From the city side, what sort of impact does this have on economic activity?
Well, I'm glad that you are noting that the relevant authorities in the form of the MEC and the Premier are going to be meeting the aggrieved operators during the course of the day, because